How are you doing?
Shidale Kempala.
It's delay, Zodi. What time's in your place now?
Same as in Florida.
Oh, okay, not too bad.
Yes, we have the same time now.
Oh, okay. Good. I even forget where we are, and I'm sure you sometimes good to forget in samsara. We don't need to remember everything, yeah.
Mhm.
That's maybe purpose of some part of practice. And at the same time, we can learn new vocabularies, concepts, and tools that we may need sometime in this life. So good thing is we all know that. And maybe before we start, we chant our preliminaries and Manjushri prayer. Maybe someone can chant in English today.
James.
Homage to the Guru and the Protector, Venerable Manjughosha. Your wisdom is brilliant and pure like the sun, free from the clouds of the two obscurations. You perceive the whole of reality exactly as it is, and so hold the book of transcendental wisdom at your heart. You look upon all beings imprisoned within samsara, enshrouded by the thick darkness of ignorance and tormented by suffering, with the love of a mother for her only child. Your enlightened speech, endowed with 60 melodious tones, like the thundering roar of a dragon, awakens us from the sleep of destructive emotions and frees us from the chains of karma. Dispelling the darkness of ignorance, you wield the sword of wisdom to cut through all our suffering. Pure from the very beginning, you have reached the end of the 10 bhumis and perfected all enlightened qualities. Foremost of the Buddha's heirs, your body is adorned with the 112 marks of enlightenment. To Manjughosha, the gentle voiced, I prostrate and pray. Dispel the darkness from my mind. Omarapa Chanandi. With all of your kindness and love, let your wisdom's shining light clear the darkness of my ignorance once and for all. Grant me, I pray, the intelligence, the brilliance to understand the scriptures, the words of the Buddha and works of the masters. And whenever I wish to look upon you or ask of you anything at all, Lord and Protector Manjushri, let me see you without any hindrance. Whoops. Kabbalah, would you like to do this in Tibetan or English or both?
Yeah, we do both. Mama Jano, Mama Jano, Mama Jano. 因为这边个在一把呢，这边春天老妈要来些，来在娘们这不是话一个晚安把到来就别去，只为的今个路见的说传单信息，更加现实。
O Lama, care for me, O Lama, care for me, O Lama, care for me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, rise up, O compassionate Lama, my only refuge. I am plagued by past actions and turbulent emotions. To protect me in my misfortune, remain as the jewel ornament on the crown of my head, the chakra of great bliss, arousing all my mindfulness and awareness, I pray.
我本着什么的一个早晚早龙的来让影响着谁？ 我让印度语经过来，想叫宁波把夹子去。
In the three jewels and their essence, the Sugatas, in the three roots, Guru, Deva, and Dakini, in the nadis, Vayus, and Bindus and their nature, bodhicitta, in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until enlightenment is fully realized. In the three jewels and their essence, the Sugatas, in the three roots, Guru, Deva, and Dakini, in the nadis, Vayus, and Bindus and their nature, bodhicitta, in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until enlightenment is fully realized.
我们所能群的经历见，不把那个见得江边着，让人不在颜色而在结在美西，我的心激动。
Oh, mesmerized by the sheer variety of perceptions, which are like the illusory reflections of the moon and water, beings wander endlessly astray in samsara's vicious cycle. In order that they may find comfort and ease in the luminosity and all-pervading space of the luminous expanse of awareness, I generate the immeasurable love, compassion, joy, and equanimity of the awakened mind, the heart of bodhicitta. Ho, like bubbles appearing on water, all of you deities arise from the space of primordial wisdom before us. I prostrate in direct awareness of the ultimate nature. I offer the increase of visionary experience. I confess in the full measure of awareness. I rejoice in the exhaustion of phenomenal reality. I implore you, turn the wheel of Dharma from the expanse of great transference. I request you, please remain in the great rainbow body. I dedicate all the merit toward the youthful vase body. Would you like us to recite anything else, Kempa?
We can just read up to where we stopped.
I'm not precisely sure where we stopped. I think here.
I think the first page, two verses we went through.
That's what I have.
Homage to the glorious Samanta Vajra. The natural state of the ground is free from complexity, and ground appearances are Rigpa Dharmakaya. The path has always been clear of effort from the very beginning. When this nature itself is realized, it is the great source of freedom. The fruition is not something separate and set apart. When the result itself is present as cause, settling completely is calm abiding, shamatha. Any sudden rising is Rigpa's own radiance, and vivid awareness as insight, vipassana. Directly upon fading, there's primordial experience.
And I think here, up to here, we here introducing the sort of ground, natural state of the ground. And of course, ground is a little bit complicated concept, and there is the ground that before samsara and nirvana. That is, I think, we call sometimes primordial ground. There's a lot of names, but if we call that as ground, then we have ground, path, and version. Usually that's comes a lot in many teachings, especially we have precise aspiration prayers that are dealing with these triad kind of nature or triad aspect of the practice that ground, path, and version. So it seems it's difficult to tell, but Longchenpa's writings. As Longchenpa has this particular text, it's called Illuminating the Significance of Ground Pattern Version in his Lamayantic, the quintessence of the heart essence of Lama, which is Bima Nyingtik's distillation of Bima Nyingtik. Longchenpa is called Lama, and Bima Mita calls Lama. And there is this text, and I'm translating it now, currently. Maybe it's when available soon. You can look at, you can decide, or if you want to explore more or understanding this particular core ground. So maybe some people use as basis, foundation ground. So that is the English, which person may have a choice. Here seems used as ground. So ground appearances and grounds free from complexity. And if we strictly just think about the ground as a primordial ground that before samsara and nirvana is taking, or through the framework of narrative, it has sort of a linear progression that talks about one ground yet two path and two version that next week, I think, and I'm going to Seattle to teach the text, Gundu Songpo's prayer. If everyone may be familiar with, if not, maybe you can join us from online, maybe. And if you have text, you can look at. If you don't, we can find someone can provide for you. Maybe that text is important. Maybe now I don't want to say too much about the ground, but the ground is this in the Jigme Lingpa's prayer ground. He said, "May I realize the ground all the time," and that is the still is a little bit difficult to say. This ground is the primordial ground, or this is the ground from the ground path version. If you can distinguish that, maybe it's good, or you don't want to think too much about these things without much information, then it's fine. So here the nature of phenomena is also called ground, yeah, and because this is the foundation of everything, and Madhyamika, as we learn that emptiness is the foundation, and everything arises from there. Everything happened in there, and then Dharmakaya, Dharmatatu, or we know, and then we also can relate to our mind nature, and that is also a foundation of everything. And somehow, may I realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground, which at least need to know that first we need to understand and then experience. Maybe finally we need to realize the ground. So that is That's what I want to say and why the ground is important in here. First, the ground, and then a view is another important thing, and then the meditation comes. So that is so far I wanted to say. Anyone want to know, or any short questions that maybe we can go very fast and then start with warm up a little bit. What you understand or what you can offer us, if any helps to lead us to next step. Yeah. Okay. That's the case. Then we go to next verses. So the meditation has sort of two aspects, the shamatha and vipassana. That's often used, and these two are important concepts to understand the meditation. And then meditation has the names of the Nyamyak and the Jetop, the meditation equipoise and post-meditation, and so forth. So there's and we have dhyanas and so forth. So next one. Someone can read in English. Maybe we can step by step.
Laura?
Remaining genuinely is the Dharmakaya, accompanying awareness is the Sambhogakaya, and the non-duality of stillness and movement is the Nirmanakaya. This is what we call the three Kaya Rigpa. While remaining at ease, there's no clinging to experience. Vivid movements of mind are freed, ungraspable. Liberated in vivid clarity, there's no post-meditative state of mind. This is what we call the spontaneously present three Kayas. Without any deliberate view, it is beyond dullness and agitation. Without deliberate meditation, it is entering the original womb. Without deliberate conduct, it is free from rigid notions or ideas. One who has mastered this is Lord among yogis.
Thank you. And so we already have these so-called shamatha and vipassana. But at the same time, and then even the moment when we meditate, looking at our mind nature, Rigpa, everyone may be now good at looking at our own Rigpa. And here we already said that the moment you are looking at Rigpa or awareness, your own mind nature, there should not have any experience that describable experience. If you have experience, that means then it's often talk about the concept. Once the concept interferes the realization or recognition of the Rigpa, then it's a dualistic world. It's not the non-dual state. However, it's still, of course, is we call realization, and we also call awareness, and we also call luminous mind or naked mind, and so forth. And we read Dunja Rinpoche's Calling Lama from Far many times, and these are the. It's clear that it's vivid clear, but yet there's no attachment or there's no any focal points that are describable. And while we are resting or settling in the mind nature, then we have this remaining means settling or resting generally means without any fabrication that we could call Dharmakaya. It's talking about the moment, even the single moment, which is not really moment, but momentless moment that we are resting in a mind nature. The resting itself, genuinely or correctly or naturally, that resting is we can call Dharmakaya, because every moment of meditation, in the Dzogchen meditation, it contains a Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. So these three kayas are our nature and grounds nature. We talk about the empty aspect is Dharmakaya, luminous aspect is the Sambhogakaya, and the union of these two is called Nirmanakaya, which is pervasive. Pervasive means great compassion, which is pervasive. Why great compassion is pervasive? Because the emanation of the Buddha bodies emanate through Nirmanakaya, emanation body. And even maybe we don't know exactly the objects are seen as a manifestation of Buddhas, but it naturally is. And in the Jigme, we have a Gongjigye, the single tension, or what do you call?
The single intent.
Single intent has this 歇下的是上级小啊些 anything possible or exist in phenomena act as or what they possess activities of Buddhas. So nothing but anything that can help us or benefit us as same as Buddha's activities. So that's how I understand. Maybe people understand a little bit differently. In the past, I have a little bit debate with my friend Campos and how much you want to take that line. It seems everything is Buddha and everything acts as a Buddha. So that's what I want to say. So here, more narrow down, focusing on the moment we recognize the Rigpa. And the remaining itself is Dharmakaya. Then that is accompanied by the Rigpa. It's Shi is Tibetan is more sort of knowingness or aware of. That is Sambhogakaya because once we are and settling itself, genuinely or sort of unfabricatedly is Dharmakaya. Because when we talk about meditation, there is Vipassana and Shamataya. So Vipassana is a vividness is Vipassana, and calmly abiding, which means completely settling. The settling part is Dharmakaya, and vividness part is Sambhogakaya. And then this non-duality means this while it's settling, still is aware. This union of clarity and sort of emptiness is called dukkha, the great compassion. And this mind doesn't have two things, yeah. Non-duality of stillness and movement. Here, English non-duality of stillness and movement. What really say it in English, Lincoln?
Maybe inseparability.
In the Tibetan, it's neba and yuva. Neba means abiding, yuva means movement. And these, in a Gajuba traditional Mahamudra, we have Ninju Riksun. Neba, abiding, yuva, movement, and Rikpa is awareness. So these first introduce these through, we need to understand our mind, not mind nature, but mind function. What mind would have functions? Either rapidly moving means changing thinkings and arising thinkings, or thinking that settles in a could be one object like shamatha. And these two are the stages of mental activity, mind activity. And here, Tibetan is more, there is no both. What are the abiding and the movement? So usually mind has two activities that occupied our mind. So here there's no two. Usually neba and yuva, and in Tibetan, abiding and movement, to abide and movement, has negative connotation. And it's not like a non-dual of emptiness and appearance. It's not like union of emptiness and appearance. That has balancing part. Balancing means it's not totally empty, not totally appearance. It's union. But here, the both movement and abiding has negative. So union of that doesn't make any better. It's still samsaric thing. I think here is more beyond both the stillness and movement. It should be. If we have non-duality of stillness and movement. Yeah, it's seems not working that way. It's not a good thing. Mind can abide. That's why shamatha is one of that. But especially these two activities, what mind have is not the ultimate reality. The mind. Does that make sense?
So you're saying instead of the non-duality of stillness and movement, it should have been beyond stillness and movement is the Nirmanakaya.
Yes, and we could, if we just want to keep this non-duality, and the non-duality which is beyond stillness and movement. Yes, James.
But I was wondering, at least in the Ocean of Definitive Meaning, the Naden Gyamtso, what I remember from that is that there is like sentient beings like when their minds are still, they don't like when it's moving. And so there was a sense of training until one understands that there's no difference between stillness and movement. Stillness isn't a good thing and movement isn't a bad thing. That's kind of what I got out of that. Is that related to what's being said here?
I think beyond both, because the both are, that's why I'm saying it's not like emptiness and appearance.
Right.
Union can balance.
Right. I didn't mean a union or focused on both, but where the mind makes no distinction between them. They're both fine.
Actually, it is in you are is a movement that's a very sort of rough mental activities. So if they satisfy this, is fine. I'm just pointing out these three kayas is our mind, nature, and which revealed through the meditation, and that is important part. And what does Trikaya mean? Trikayas, these three aspects represents the Trikayas, yeah?
And so the stillness here, I'm thinking, is that why a few weeks ago I think it was one of the questions from Mariko. You kind of said something about don't stay in that zooming out stage during meditation because that is still not true meditation. Here, I heard you said stillness is also just a mental non-activity.
Yeah, it's a tricky part because the early we call shamatha part is called still completely is come abiding. Hine, so that's ne in Tibetan is here translate as stillness. But usually we translate abiding, yeah? You can see abiding. So still settling, settling and abiding are in Tibet the same word, ne, here. And what I'm trying to say is in the Mahamudra tradition, we have be aware, meditators should be aware of what stage of our mind is. How? Through whether our mind is settling or abiding, or a moving movement, or we are aware of something. So this called ne ju rikson. So here, these first two is introducing here, because the aware part is a little bit difficult to get rid of. Why? Because the coming, the rikpa is called the rik, ne ju rik. Of course, everyone is now have perfect Tibetan as well, so I'm typing here in Wiley, so you can ne ju rik. So these three have I think typo there, maybe autocorrect, and you should be like this, not the middle one. Of course, there's no capital letters, but so these three has there's a text, short text called Nenjurikson. If maybe you have that in English, you can look at what does Neba call, what does Njuba call, what is called. Introduce these three activities of mind. So then how we judge or how we look at our mind is through these mental activities, whether mind is settling or mind is agitated, moving, or just kind of clear awareness that arise. So these three, and these three are the non-settling. Again, need to use a settle or rest. Observe what it is. Yeah.
Tempela, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
The text you just mentioned, is this it?
Yes, that's I think yes, Mipam Jamso.
Put it in the chat.
So you can look at that. That's I think there is I'm not sure when I learned this. There's a misunderstanding of people think that's written by Mipam Rinpoche, but there's another Mipam in the Kajuba tradition, and he wrote it. Anyway, that doesn't really matter that much, but seems here treat us Mipam Rinpoche, our text that we learned in the past few weeks. So that's Mipam Rinpoche. Yes, Spencer?
So is it the Nirmanakaya part? So
Mhm.
the stillness or the abiding and the movement of mind, the conceptual movement, is it calling them Nirmanakaya because they're both different types of manifestation? They're both different, observable, not non-conceptual or not purely Rikpa? Why? Yeah, I guess my question is how do those two, or why are those two described as Nirmanakaya in this instance here?
Yeah, here is more, how to say, it's talking about the meditation, yeah. It's relating to the practitioner's mental state. And then it's saying remaining genuinely, or that is not a ne, you can see. These ne's are over. So Tibetan has same meaning, but we need to look carefully because the first I show you, you are just wondering why names are so important. Maybe names are important. This is the Tibetan character. You see how many names are there. And the Dharmakaya part has ne, translate as remaining. And don't show that. Don't show this. Okay. So this ne, the same Tibetan word translate differently. Ne translate as settling, abiding, remaining, and a stillness here. At least these few two verses. So it's a little bit difficult, but at least first Dharmakaya part is remaining part is positive. And then the difficult part is Yuva is mental movement that, and Neva is the stillness or settling part. Go beyond these two, then it's and the sort of actionless activity that is sort of Nirmanakaya, but it's not really talking about the mental activities. It's need to go beyond that, yeah. And while we are meditating, we realize or we are aware that there is a settling or stillness or abiding or non-movement occur, and then at the same time we realize that. Can you show Dunjum Rinpoche's calling Lama from far that?
Yeah. Kambala,
Yes.
before we go there, is it possible that maybe a good reading of that part of the translation could be the mental state beyond the non-dual nature of the mind, beyond stillness and movement, is the Nirmanakaya? Because the stillness and the movement part could said to still be activities within samsara, and we're talking about the Nirmanakaya, which is beyond that state.
Yes, somehow we need to be on, I think. Not, maybe not to kind of doing that, but it's especially the Yuva is we cannot use the Rigpa activities, the awareness activity as a movement.
I think the middle one is the one we're most used to.
And where it say the vividness with here, I think, yeah. But the clear part is the vividness. That is talking about the Sambhogakaya part, yeah. And at the same time, unidentifiable, that is also we use we could use as a Nirmanakaya as well. And that's the case is there is not really any identifiable activities, but of course, somehow clarity yet is not identifiable, yet it is empty. So these three are conception and so forth. Then, of course, here use as that is one's own guru. We are just exercising our tools. Okay, thank you. That's we still can refine our meditations in a further, but go to next verse.
I think,
Yes. Yes.
Ted, maybe you go ahead, ask it.
Sorry, I just wrote out the question of whether it's correct to understand the difference between what Khenpo was calling awareness activity and what I think is described in the text as accompanying awareness and movement or movement and fixation as mainly distinguished based on whether or not there's fixation and grasping happening.
Yes, exactly. Any conceptually apprehending is whether either a movement or stillness. I think mainly our mind, what can do is these three things. That's why Mahamudra has often used these three, Nen, Ju, Rik. And you can see also, even a meditation introduced, there's two terms using calm abiding and special insight. But these two are also, the vividness part is movement. And the calm abiding part is settling or stillness or abiding at that part. So our mind mainly have three functions, the main three functions, whether we can settle in or mind is more sometimes agitated, but aware of. Aware of means then activities keep changing. So that's a sort of movement. Maybe, yeah, read the Nenju Riksun text. It's very short, and we can talk more about these in next meetings. And also, of course, next meeting is also a little bit further down because next week I cannot do. I'm teaching at Takini Mountains, and then I have Seattle after that. And after that, I have a conference here, which means that's April. April 8th, we cannot meet. Probably we will meet April 12th. Meanwhile, read the Nanji Rikson text. Sorry, I'm using Nanji Rikson. It's better for me than it's fixated rather than saying settling or abiding or stillness or and English. You have a lot of choices that we can make. So now where we are. Okay. So that we have Vipassana and Shamatha when we meditate, and our mind, the state of our mind, if in genuine meditation, then we can describe that's true, or that mental state is not really mental state, but it's a Rigpa state of Rigpa, and then these three aspects are representing the three bodies, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. And then next already read, that while remaining at ease, there is no clinging to experience. Of course, now we are talking about the actual meditation that people settling in meditation, then there would not have any concept or dualistic concept, because that is the pure Rigpa state. Is whether we call naked or raw. It's empty awareness, either we call, so which means there is no room for any one of them, this clinging to experience. And that's another ne you can see, neighbor. Here's users remaining. That's more the shamatha aspect. Vivid movement of mind are the free, ungraspable, graspable. That is a more vipassana aspect. And then we call in a Dzogchen, the liberation takes on place, Trolva. And then once liberation takes place, it's early we talk about the meditation occupies and post-meditation. I think in the Losar teaching, someone asked what does post-meditation mean? Post-meditation seems is not a meditation. But post-meditation is a meditation after the meditation occupies, because we cannot stay in a meditation occupies very long, probably, if we are beginners. So we arise from this deep meditation, which is Nyamyak, the Tibetan post meditation occupies. When it rises from there, then we call Jito in the Tibetan, which means achieve or obtain from the meditation occupies, after meditation occupies. What we have is here, when we rise from the deep meditation, but then we see dualistic things. And these dualistic things is sort of empty form and so forth. These are not as solid as before. We understanding or the meditation itself. It has power to what we seeing things are changed. If we did real sort of a meditation occupies, which is usually even sutras describe that at this point the subject-object duality will collapse and totally the realm of emptiness. So mental activity is mainly stops there. That's why the pause meditation, then our mental function is regain to see things, and so dualistic concept, thoughts, ideas arise from there. And these pause meditation in a Dzogchen meditation, the actual meditation has that we call shamatha or vivajana, these first two lines. And then the third arise from this meditation, but that's everything's liberated its own place. The power of the meditation sees liberated everything on place, which is also difficult to understand, because what does really liberated mean? What needs to liberate? Yeah. So the liberation is, I think, my few teachings in the past, I talk about liberation doesn't necessarily mean a need to change everything. It's usually on place or vividly liberated in vivid clarity, or vividly, or so Tibetan usually look like as a verbal form, liberated clearly, vividly, and which means if our thoughts not not feed the next thought, then the things also, the objects also not survive, because object only there because we have subject mind there. So if we have no concept, then the objects will no longer survive. There's no functionality of object without subject here. So that's why these post-meditation, the thoughts are not continuously sustaining based on objects. So that's called liberation. As liberated, once objects liberated, subject liberated, then object liberated. So this liberation is taking on place. It's not through antidote. Antidote means either need to transform or remove or abandon or discard, need to do something, need to change. But in a Dzogchen viewpoint, it's not changing. It's changing takes time. Changing takes effort, and changing takes many others. Yeah. So that's why the liberations is self-liberation, they call. And then there is no continual thoughts, chain of thoughts after meditation. And that is a powerful kind of practice or understanding, because then effort and antidote and practice that involves effort is not powerful as the effortless practice or meditation. And here again, this is what we call the spontaneously present Trikaya. So Trikaya is already in our mind nature. Seems it's good verses to that. Yes, I think nature Rickson, and there's so many nays, and maybe anyone have a clear explanation or something that I want to provide while I'm drinking something, water.
Yeah, but I recently read something by Rob Jam Rinpoche that everything you
Brian Lee is, first, maybe Brian Lee.
Question, Temple. So, when we look at Rigpa by applying your instruction properly, right? And let's say somebody suddenly screams, right? You're in a shrine room looking at Rigpa, someone suddenly screams. So is it correct to say that, like, assuming we look at Rigpa properly, then what happened would be we are aware of the screaming, but there won't be a second thought or any experiences associated to it. Then, like, immediately we'll just continue to look at the Rigpa. So basically the screaming like arise and dissolve like simultaneously. So we are aware of that, but not like grasping on it, forming a series of subsequent mental events.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yes, it's we have Vibhashana Shamatha, and then we have meditation equipoise and post meditation. So that's why we have this kind of two things, because the beginners, we cannot just stay in a one stage that long, especially the meditation equipoise. Especially the Dzogchen, if we are just ordinary practitioners, then it usually doesn't last that long. That's why I need to do a lot of repetition. And yes, exactly. If while meditating, whether really looking at Rigpa and seeing at Rigpa, maybe you will not hear a voice either, maybe. But that is just moment by moment, and hearing some voice screaming. That's exactly, if you do not respond that voice, whether pleasant or awful voice, if you don't register that in your mind, then it would not bother you at all. Yeah, that's sort of main point here. The meditation, what meditation does, post meditation does, is due to the, I sometimes use the dosage we get from the meditation equipoise. How much dosage you take is matter for post-meditation. If you really take seriously dosage was too big and knocked down, and when you sort of wake up, your post-meditation still would be like dream-like life. If you thought you took a big dosage, but you mistakenly took another pill, and then you wake up, it doesn't change anything. Maybe it's still the same. So I just maybe this jokingly, but dosage is, I think, a good analogy that how much you can get on a post meditation is based on how much dosage you took in a meditation occupies. And that is then meditation occupies you can take all day to treat whole phenomena as a illusory dream-like phenomena. But that's hard to also say. But the good practitioners would do. And then in Tibet, we call this real good practitioners the without day and night. It's the same sort of experience occurring. And then real yogins or Buddhas or realizers, then the post-meditation and meditation occupies become one. There's not really how to say alternation or the oscillation of these two. So until that, we would have two stages. And that's why meditation occupies is more important than post-meditation. But what kind of result post-meditation can get from the meditation occupies? We are talking about meditation occupies. Now we are talking about how much we can look at our mind nature and how long we can sustain and how much time and energy we want to put in looking at the Rigpa. Yes, James?
Oh, no, Campo, it's not important, please.
So that's
What?
Thanks, Campo, for answering.
Yes, you're welcome.
Brian's question also reminds me of this prayer that you taught in Chicago last year, that has something like, do this towards all you see, do this towards all that you hear. I think I see Spencer nodding, but I think in the prayer, it's also saying when hearing them, they're empty at the same time. So there's something. I have the prayer pull up. I know Spencer is pulling up too. But I think it's saying, do this towards all you hear, all sounds grasped as sweet or harsh, while lest hearing them empty, without afterthought, remain. This empty sound with no beginning and no end is the speech of the victorious ones. And to this empty sound, the speech of all the Buddhas we pray.
We have some new, and this prayer is very profound, and of course, people really want to chant this Leuduma, which is the 7 prayers of Guru Rinpoche, that I think since 13 years old, maybe little bit earlier, I sort of memorized that whole seven prayer. And I remember in our village at that time, one of my cousin bought a recorder, as at those days, very giant tape recorder, and he wanted me to recite, and he wanted to record it. So I even recorded these seven prayer texts. It's not seven line prayer. It's as there's seven texts that individually requests by individuals, Yishin Soja and others, to Guru Rinpoche, and Guru Rinpoche taught these. And so I recorded. It's interesting that was very early on. So of course, someone point out, or someone known these texts. If not, these texts hidden in these seven texts. One of seven texts we have this beautiful text. Maybe you can share with us if easy to hear.
I put the PDF in the chat.
Or you want to chat? Okay. Yeah, these these texts you can see a little bit long, and requires by this Nanki Nyingbo. And of course, yeah, and yeah, maybe read in English once.
Do this towards all you see, outside, inside, environment and beings, all things, whilst seeing them without grasping, remain. This freedom from the trap of duality, subject-object clinging, is the very form of the deity, luminous and empty. To this Lama, the very self-liberation of desire and attachment, we pray. To the lotus-born Guru of Orgyen, we pray. Do this toward all that you hear. All sounds, grasped as sweet or harsh, whilst hearing them empty, without afterthought, remain. This empty sound, with no beginning and no end, is the speech of the victorious ones. To this empty sound, the speech of all the Buddhas, we pray. To the lotus-born Guru of Orgyen, we pray. Do this towards all that stirs in the mind. Whatever thoughts and emotions of the five poisons arise, don't invite them, don't chase after them, don't let mind fabricate or contrive. Simply allowing them to settle in the face of their own arising is liberation into the Dharmakaya. To this Lama, Rigpa's self-liberation we pray. To the lotus-born Guru of Orgyen we pray. So outwardly, purify appearances of their allure. Inwardly, free the mind from grasping. And in between, by the self-recognition of clear light, may the compassion of all the Sugatas of past, present, and future inspire and bless beings like us with self-liberation.
Yeah, it's very powerful. And of course, liberation, you can see liberations take one's stop engaging to the objects, or inwardly sort of mind itself. And exactly, so that is really relevant here, and we can see that this is important. But this is more relevant to the post-meditation, because here we still can understand, can believe in, and we can make corrections on our mental misunderstandings of the objects and the mind itself, and then through whether seeing, hearing, or thinking about the objects. Thank you. Bring up that. I totally forget. We can bring that. I think Brian, do you have another question?
I was asking, like, is it a prayer that everyone can recite, or you need a transmission or something like that?
Can you say one more?
Is the 7th chapter prayer something that everyone can recite, or we need to get transmission on that one?
Does this mean you want to keep recite or just general asking?
Just general asking.
Okay, then yes, maybe, but up to you. That's
Kempo, I think he's asking, do you need the lung?
I know.
I'm sorry.
I think Kempo's waiting to be asked.
Yeah, if you want to keep reciting or just generally asking, do these requests or not?
Please give the transmission.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying if the general interest, I don't need to put effort to give long. If you really seriously want to chant, I can give long. That's
Yes,
my,
yes. Yeah, that's how I understand also. Yeah, like we should only get loans for anything we are serious in.
yes, generally should get long. So Lincoln, you
Yeah.
say you want long?
Kempo, please give us the transmission.
Okay. Maybe I can open here, I think. This is easy. That's not. I'm trying to open the document. It takes time. My computer's getting slow.
Kempo, I can put the links to the Tibetan in the chat if that's easier.
Yeah, I'm trying to open it. And yeah, now I have it. Okay. 조근다지 주마면도 외신조 숨지도 대신조 숨바라 다와섬여 좀바라 자라 정에 가게 되대 신조 전망하고들 빌로 방송되고 뜻음조라 전산은 조선대 외신조는 이미 이제 접선 연구조에 다빈조가 예수성으로 저주비기 이만을 버진 조선 고선 다베죠 맞아줘라 제는 다면 다저 좀마에도 외신조 숨지도 대신조 숨바라 다와섬여 좀바라 자라 정에 가게 So this is only one text. Okay, today we just do this particular one, and in the future maybe we can do others. There's 7 of them. It's a little bit long, and here, okay, start. Tenegelon nange nyingwajiba, jelobon jembola, dala du bealamana lozova, debanoma sadan lamo zava. Tratadze yadan le zondo agomat, waji shere chuni, de trevezon deveji, shu, be gazava. Ma ho zhu zhe de jin jia gen de song ren song jie zhu ge de jin zhu zhu tong zi xian jiu sen bei ge ju ge long ge zhu ge nan ba song jia wa gong bi ju pe la zo ran de er jian bei men yu ne la zo ran de. Ta den ni jue jiang nu ji gan da dong lo zhu ta den lo jia ren jiu bo tang zhi me cha ba le jin jia rong zhe zi long jia yi la zo de ren zi bi ju pe la zo ran. Er jian bei men yu ne la zo ran de. Chuku gönde zambo gomba ye dorje samba gara dorje don yere sungi wardu shana. Te don ma jang tata tu zongi zogjen ju be la ma la zorwande urjen pe manyune la zorwande. Jarwa chuji gui gomba ye de ye renga rusong gomba la sonje sangi. Shinam den te don ma jang tata tu zongi junchura ju be la ma la zorwande urjen pe manyune la zorwande. Jambara yaman tagi gongba ye lopong chenpo jambara yinye tang romong dewe varza shinla dinde tong ma chong tada tuzonje kuye jibe lama la zorwanda urjen pema nyune la zorwanda. Tan ma hero ga ye gongba ye wongge lama nagar juna tang pema nyune varza shinla dinde tong ma chong tada tuzonje songge jibe lama la zorwanda urjen pema nyune la zorwanda. Banzara hero ga ye gomba ye garab dorjin jambara shinye tong hong chen kare warta shinam den de dong ma jang tata tuzong ji dogji ju be Allah ma la zarwan de urjin pe ma yune la zarwan. Shin jo hero ga ye gomba ye zhubin kan ru ren zin mong bo dong men jan nong ge warta shinam den de dong ma jang tata tuzong ji yo den ju be Allah ma la zarwan de urjin pe ma yune la zarwan. Jambara dorje shonu gomba ye lundup chaja jimboran zeno dorje tunen zala shina dende thoma jang tada tuzong jin chuli jube ala ma la sarvan te urjen pe ma june la sarvan munzo jarabo ye chincho heru ga ma ju lam oyong ju dama tong dana samri varta shina dende thoma jang tada tuzong jisiba ma ju jila ma la sarvan te urjen pe ma june la sarvan. Jumdan chigpa gundara gongba ye runpun gu ye zindri tu ju ne shaja singi warda shingla dinde dong ma chung tada tu zonjin chudu ju pe lama la zoranda urjen pe ma nyune la. Parchen topden nakfu gongba ye lopong shidin garambi tu ju ne dorje chulu zala shingla dinde dong ma chung tada tu zonjin sanga ju pe lama la zoranda urjen pe ma nyune la. Gombo tse pa mi ji gomba ye lamo tsindra la tu yu nin chi mi pe man yu ni xin la dun de dong ma chu tada tsu som ji tse ye rin zi nong la zorwa de urjen pe man yu ni la. Tok ji pang mo tok ji gomba ye kan ro sen gi dong jen tu ju ni dor ji chobo tsa la xin la dun de dong ma chu tada tsu som ji sama ma ju ji lama la zorwa de urjen pe man yu ni la. Dorje chang tong dorje gongba ye zhu ke bin ma ju ne tu ju ne zang len hu je le jin xin la den de tong ma chong ta ta tu sum ji zang ang du ju ji la ma la zor wan de er jen pe ma ju ne. De be sang je nam je gongba ye sang je xia je de be tu ju ne bo de sa ru war de xin la den de tong ma chong ta ta tu sum ji jun zhe tun do ji la ma la zor wan de er jen pe ma ju ne la. Ren zin yang jiao sen bei gongba ye kang sa le jian nang la xin la de tu sun de ne nga jin ta me fa sang ka xin zhe bei tan le kang sa ning kong ju ba la so ran de er jian bei man yong la so ran de. De ta hai mei gi yor de nong a ye qin nong du yong ba tam ji gen nong ya dang zi mei ben gong la jia song zi da wo sa zhong la ye gen do jia rong zhu ji la ma la so ran de er jian bei man yong la so. De na we yor de zha ba ye ni na men yan zi bei zhan na gu cha tong sam no cha wei ngong la xiu cha du jing ga me ba jia wei zong cha tong jia wei zong la so ran de er jian bei man yong la so ran de. De yi ji yor de en jiu a ye nyong mo teng ye do ba ji xia ran yong wo si ji ju lo ye ju me yu jiu a rong sa la xiao bei chu ge chu ri gua rong zhu ji la ma la so ran de er jian bei man yong la so ran de. Chedere songwe yor nong taba tong nong taran zimbe simni chorba tong farda boza rong xibar tusan de ye nam je du je ye tong de rong ju chorba xin ji lo de tri chun chi me bar sorba to nang kin yung bor pichen sa song ta tong chorba me pata chenis yung hi song so. Okay, that is chanting. You can chant, of course. You chant Tibetan in that way and English in another way. and another language you want to add. So you can do that as well. Maybe we have, maybe Zodi can translate that into Spanish. And do you have in Spanish?
Yes, Campola. Actually, there is one Spanish version available from Lotsawa House.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, these prayers are very wonderful. It's a little bit different than, maybe not that different. At first, I thought these are more supplications, but it's mixed with supplication and aspiration prayer. So it's a wonderful prayer. And if you want more loans, so let me know. That's I can give without cost anything. That's just a wonderful thing to offer others. Yeah. And of course, thank you, Paula, sending message. We have those. And of course, today is a wonderful day, but time is limited. So I'm sure East Coast is getting dark soon. And we can stop here. If you have one more question or one suggestion, what we do, then we can stop here and meet back probably April 12th. Until then, chant these texts. Now you have to, yeah, because you asked me to, you promised to chant, and then read that Mahamudra, what we call.
Stillness movement awareness.
Yeah.
Kempola, the lung for that is very short. Can you give that today, or should I ask another day?
The name Jurickson.
Yes.
Or you can, I can read, you can put on,
Yes, sir.
on a here. I got this teaching from Tukur Jambachi. Chakchen be nen ju riksum nyamlen so nyamlen shi so chakchen be nen ju riksum zang la nyamlen shi zam tar chi chuni den ban tong ne de semji chuni de shik ning bo yu ba tang ta la men nga ke ne de ne ong yin de te de chu tam ji ji za sem la tu be rong sem ji ne zan na sem ji zang shi ne chu tam ji lang ke xing ba me be tong to bo ren ju we there rikki mongbo torde dodenji menga taratena ka nongdo chodorangi semla de beche jinyo mento warandu na ne ba shi sha namto na son tro na jiba shi sha teni kan shung yong tada rangsam rangi rik shimba tela rikba shi serde tedar jundo jona gadu ki nawa na so rangsam le sharshin teni de tembe ne de rangi希望这些对那他们去审计让那对我出望，天天那咱们就为审提我来接着接对呗，那做是那样，我尽量嘛这边当把希望，当把是把太阳能看到为系统是明的，更是更这个是像芒个把心芒个心，让你这样嘛这边南回人桥等这东西的希望。대대의 semje선에 도베체 다야단 다이 타티든 미전 롱이고 서비스 니뇽마 냠소뇽마라 르방원 주바시 샤데 차소지 뭐 주주랑 대인데 좀 텐차르데 사라히 돈이 타고 남게 롱이라 대신 통한강 버리저로 시송바당 Yomle semla semanji de semji rangin zarabo hizung betong dalle la meto nyamso lemba karchewo mepambe so mangalam.
Thank you,
Okay.
Kempo.
Yes, Bill?
Okay. Do you
Thank
recall who
you.
It's echoing somehow.
can
Can
you
you
hear
say
me?
what?
Can you
Yes.
hear me? Okay, great. Do you recall who you received the first loop for from the 7-chapter prayer?
I think I received from my hometown Lama. It's called Longto Rinpoche.
Thanks.
Yeah. And then many times after many lamas,
Hmm.
I cannot say who they are really. I think almost from it, most of my lamas. My lamas means I got transmissions, empowerments, and these many lamas, and including our Ndrikong holinesses, these Ndrikong Chujus also have
Oh,
this Leo Duma is very popular text that's usually include most Nyingma and Kaju. The Chuju is daily practice volume that they put together. It's not sadhana text. It's a more like or the aspiration prayer, supplication prayer, and thus. And there is translation, the whole translation of book, and also I think lots of house has all 7. Yeah, should be. Yeah, yeah. If you want to explore more, we can do that. I think last time we did the dispelling the obstacles. Yeah, Parchilamser.
Yes.
Is that the whole? Yeah, you have background blur, so it cannot see. Yeah. Only computer recognize your beautiful face. They don't want to show anything, even in front. Yeah, that one.
Kempo, I would just want to say that yes, I'm going to do the translation for this specific prayer because I was looking at the other one.
Yes.
There is no Spanish version from this one. The prayer requested by Namke Nikto.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
So I'm gonna work on it.
okay. Wonderful.
Thank you.
A lot. Yes, that's why we need to helping each other to remind us what we have learned. So, and once my lifetime, I thought this is very important, and then another important comes up, and then a barrier under the others. Even they are more important, maybe. Okay. Okay, then some of you maybe I see in Chicago, and other than that, then maybe online. Anyway, so next 2 Sundays I will be teaching online and in person. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. And now you have one more text to chant. Dedication. Den zong de zong za be ge za ge. Ten re za ba me be yi ji ji. Per zang yang da chen bu ji da ne lo zo ba. Chen bu lang de. In Tibetan, when you chant, if I'm sort of automatically change the melody because this is part of sadhana and supplication part and chants differently than sadhanas. Sadhanas has different tone, melody, and supplications has different melody. And then comes to Guru Rinpoche's biography reading, there's another melody and so forth. So anyway, you don't need to really know, but maybe if you notice that why I'm changing unfamiliar to the most unfamiliar melodies. Okay, English.
All sources of virtue amassed throughout the three times, as represented by this practice, are, with the immaculate wisdom of pure presence and awareness, sealed within the great and total purity of the three spheres, and in the expanse of the great perfection, the natural state. Ah.
Orden zawe lama rambo je dagi je vore me denjo la kadri chimbo gone je zonde ko zondo je modo zardo zo. Orden lame nambara tarba la ke je zongyang long ta me che yin jin je le waran tongwe mogu lame je la zamlang ju ware sho je wa kunde yang da lama tang dar me chu je bala lang je 사당 람지 여대 로존에 도르진 청계 컴파뉴 도요.
Glorious Root Lama, precious one, dwell on the lotus seat in the depth of my heart. Look upon me with the grace of your great compassion and grant me the attainments of body, speech, and mind. Towards the lifestyle and activity of the Lama, may not even a moment's wrong view ever occur, and may I see their every action as a teaching for me. Through such devotion, may the Guru's blessing fill my mind. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Guru, and so enjoy the splendor of Dharma. Perfecting the virtues of the paths and bhumis, may I speedily attain the state of Vajradhara.
Okay. See you soon. Meanwhile, you have a lot of things to take care of.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Yeah,